welcome to Kutaki no Ha episode 6. It's Friday, October 14th, and today we're going to be talking to Liz Scally, who's a Canadian who's been living in Japan for about 2.5 years and training here. And Liz has the unique position of being one of the few women who have actually moved here to train, and she'll be sharing with us a little bit about how she got into the Bujinkan and started training and came to Japan. Liz is a member of the Kutaki Nomura website, and her handle there is Tessen, Tessen. And without much further delay, we're going to move right into the interview. So please enjoy. So I'm here with Liz Scally. She's going to do the interview for this podcast. How you doing, Liz?
I'm all good.
You all good? You want to tell us a little bit about how you got into the Bujinkan? Just to start off with?
Okay. Back when I was a kid, my father and I were in a comic book shop just after a VCon. VCon was a comic book and sci-fi convention in Vancouver. I don't know if they still hold these things.
Okay.
Must have been about 90 or 91.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay. That was the
Comic
first
book.
time you'd seen the Turtles?
So first time I'd seen the Turtles in a comic book format, and it was the original.
Okay, yeah.
And my father put me up to it. Come on, it's a collectible thing. You could go for this. And I said, it's really hilarious that somebody would cook up some kind of nonsense like ninjas from Japan. These people with, split toe socks and various kinds of exotic weapons like sai and bow and all these things. And there was a Master Splinter who really appealed to me.
Yes, he made an appearance in the last episode.
Yes, I noticed. That was hilarious. I love that. That was a flashback. So I said to my father, that's hilarious, and I've never heard such nonsense in my life. It's really funny that these two American guys would come up with this. And he leaned over and said, no, wait a second. That's not bull data. It's for real that there is a historical precedent for ninja.
Your father told you
My
that?
father said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did he know about it?
Okay, because this is a really interesting story in itself. My father was very interested in Japan-Canada relations.
Okay.
And he had a long history with friends who were either Japanese nationals or Japanese Canadians.
Okay.
And got involved in, to make a long story short, the exposure of the internment of Japanese residents in British Columbia during the war.
Okay.
And this was an effort to try to expose some of the history on behalf of some of his friends. And it kind of fizzled out, but years later people started to expose the truth of the internment camps in British Columbia. But in the meantime, for him personally, it opened up all kinds of avenues of exploration about Japanese culture, and he got my brother and I very heavily influenced, not necessarily involved, but influenced by Japanese Canadians.
Interesting.
In our sphere.
Okay.
Yes. And then shortly after, which was really rather interesting timing, I saw a newspaper article in the local newspaper of an English guy who was teaching Bujinkan in Vancouver, and that's how I got involved. And you know part of the story from there.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
And then, so you started training, actually.
I wrote him a letter first,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What
was the response like, just generally?
It was really warm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Warm and inviting? Come out and train, that kind of thing?
Yeah. And got my brother very, very curious. My brother's only 13 months younger. We were inseparable when we were children. And right through our teenage years, we did a lot of stuff together. And we were working summer jobs that year and taking time out to train. And we got really, really excited about what was then called ninjutsu.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you both actually, joined up with this group in British Columbia? Okay.
Yeah.
And how old were you at the time?
I think I just turned 21.
Okay.
Maybe. No, I think I was 20.
You were 20.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. AJ was 19. Yeah.
And so, how did you get from there to here?
Whoa, that's a long, long trip. Because I'm about 1,000,000 years older now. So, but...
that's pretty old.
That's really old. No, but what happened was I trained with you guys back in the day. That was, dare we mention the name of that dojo? Is that forbidden? Will we burst into flames if we mention the name of this dojo?
I don't think we will.
Okay. Or I don't think we'll mention it, or I don't think we'll burst into flames.
I don't think we'll burst into flames.
Okay. Yeah, back in the day. It was a Kiryu Dojo in White Rock, British Columbia.
Okay.
And...
yeah, and I was there at the time. We were dojo mates originally, way back.
My brother and I used to talk about you all the time. I told you about that, right?
I don't remember.
Oh my god.
But only relate it on the show if it was good stuff.
Oh, no, it was good stuff, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Because Shawn would show up with these Japanese babes in tow, and...
I actually have no recollection
yeah,
of that.
you did. You brought some women from the school.
Okay, from the university. I was going to university at the
Yeah.
time, so...
And you were this freak in the corner, very, very quiet.
Some things never change.
In a bandana. And you just had awesome movement. And there were a couple other people from the neighborhood who were also training either in karate or ninjutsu.
I'll pay you later for that, okay? Thanks a lot.
No, it's just, we were freaked out. Like, what is this guy all about? Of course, we were in slight awe of the teacher. And anybody
well,
else.
the teacher was good.
Him. Teacher was great.
So.
Yeah. So we're in total awe. And everybody knocked us out. We were really impressed by everything we saw. The group feeling, like really strong loyalty to the group, and the encouragement we got from people, and a lot of the one-on-one we got with our senpais. That was really something, because I felt really mentored by those people. And I wasn't with that dojo for very long. Then what happened? My life changed, and I had to go do other things, including university.
Yep.
And then what happened to me? I ended up training with two brothers who had come from Kiryu Dojo.
Okay.
By various windy paths. And they weren't formally training under anybody. They just...
So they were just doing their own thing?
I suppose, but I don't know all the history about that one.
Okay.
But I had some exposure there.
Right.
And then, again, my life changed. I ended up coming to Japan for the first time in 1999 on the JET program.
Oh, you're a JET teacher?
Yep.
Okay.
And then, while I was in Ehime-ken on Shikoku Island, I trained in Aikido.
And did you try to locate any kind of Bujinkan training when you were down there? Like,
that's right.
Shikoku is fairly, like, relatively close to, say, Kansai, or...
Yeah.
Did you go over to Kansai, or did you go to Iga by any chance, for example?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me, because what happened was, back in the old days, there was Matsyum's website and database.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
And you could register a message on there, or register as a user.
Okay.
And post a message saying, I'm in a place, and is there anybody else around?
Right.
And I kind of trolled that list for a long time, and nobody responded.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody. Not even in Hiroshima or anywhere close. And there are a couple other interesting traditions down there, like Shorinji Kempo has its Honbu Dojo up in northern part of Shikoku, right?
Oh, it's in Shikoku, I didn't realize.
Yeah. I think it's close to Imabari, but I don't know exactly where. And I was just too far from that dojo, too, to train with them.
Yeah.
It was tough.
So you're doing Aikido.
Doing Aikido. And then when I returned to Canada in, August of 2000, I went right back into a job. In 3 weeks I had an apartment, a job, and a boyfriend.
Wow, you don't waste any time.
It was crazy. And I just got totally distracted and happy with my life. And I had a very exciting job. I got to work for my dream school.
Cool.
It's like some people know I'm a career ESL teacher, right?
Yeah.
And I'd applied to that school a couple times, and finally they were happy to take me after I'd had some experience abroad. And I worked with some really cool people, and the work really kept me busy.
Yep.
And then I met some cool people, as I often do, because there's just a lot of cool people out there. It happens. And I just like meet people, which is cool.
Okay.
So there's a lot of cool things. But so what happened was I got involved in capoeira
Oh,
for
okay.
almost 10 months.
Yep.
But what I found was, you've seen this, right?
I've seen it. I've seen it on Tekken 4.
Dude, that's the epitome of capoeira, okay?
She is hot, okay?
That's all you were looking at was their bottom.
Of course.
Yeah.
Anyways, Tekken 4,
But I had
capoeira. You capoeira?
I had a great bottom.
Okay.
Anyway.
But anyway, you did it for 10 months.
Yeah, I did it for 10 months, and I was in such great shape. It was great.
Cool.
But one of the things that I had trouble with, it was absolutely brutal on my knees.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're doing a lot of movement where you're either inverted or you're actually pushing your knee out over your toes.
Yeah, okay.
And that kills.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was cycling to work every day, 40 minutes either way.
Mm-hmm.
And it was taking a toll and trying to keep up with all the other life things. So
Yeah.
I dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
And but what a good experience. Like, I was in magnificent shape.
Mm-hmm.
And I really recommend that to anybody who
Except your
wants
knees.
Except my knees. If you're younger and gankier and feel no pain, go for it.
Okay.
What a
cool.
what a way to cross train, though, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really great for stamina and strength training and flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome training. Plus, it's got music and there's cool people. And
Okay.
they wear these little midriff bearing T-shirts. It's really cute. That's if you're into that kind of thing. I got to wear these really sexy pants. It was cool.
So, anyways.
Sorry.
How did you make it back to
on
Japan?
track. Oh yeah, so how I made it back to Japan. So what happened to me? Like usual life-changing things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Change of address, change of job.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really satisfied with what was happening at my work, regime change and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I decided it was time to pack up and go. But before I did, I bumped into the two really awesome brothers
Okay.
that I had trained with before,
Mhm.
and got hooked up with a dojo in
Mhm.
Vancouver. And that was really cool.
So you got hooked up in Vancouver.
And then I started talking to people online, like this guy called Shawn, who lives in Abico. And he gave me some pointers. And I came over on a contract to teach
Mm-hmm.
in a very remote, dark, grim part of Chipacan.
Okay.
And in 3 months, I dug myself out and moved north. And
Right
I've
on.
been inching incrementally closer to Hombu for the last 2.5 years.
One apartment move at a time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Shawn has had to help. Yeah.
Well, that was no
A
problem.
lot of people have helped, by the way.
You know who you are.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the story of how you started and finally made your way over to Japan.
Oh, but there's more.
There's more. I think actually we're going to have to call it quits for this segment of this episode, but in future episodes I'd really like to have you on again because I know you have a lot of really good stories.
I got stories, all right.
But for this time, thanks a lot for sharing that much.
Okay,
And
cool.
we'll have you on again for sure.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Cool. Good night.
Liz Scally from Vancouver, Canada, spicing up the podcast for us tonight. Liz has a blog on a website at www.erizabeth.typepad.com, and that's www.erizabetsu.typepad.com. So you can hook up with her there. We're just about to enjoy some music from a fellow Bujinkan Budoka from the US, but before we do that, I wanted to mention that the person in the Bujinkan that I mentioned in the last episode, who was actually participating on a team that was in that race that the Pentagon sponsored for vehicles to cross this desert territory, that guy from California was actually a member of the winning team. So congratulations, and maybe I'll have the privilege of talking to this person more directly at a later time closer to Daikomyosai. At this point I haven't actually spoken to the person directly, so I don't want to mention his name or many more details without his permission. So at this time we'll feature some music from Josh Sager. Josh is a longtime student of Jack Hoban in the eastern US and now has his own dojo as well. And he has a website at www.joshsager.com, JOSHSAGER.com, and he has sent me some of his music and told us that we can use it on the podcast. So without any further delay, here's Krishna's Kiss by Josh Sager. Thanks a lot for the music, Josh. And to everyone out there, have a good night, and we'll see you again in Kutaki no Ha, Episode 7.